Today, also a momentous day for the company that used to be known as United Technologies. In fact, Raytheon and United Technologies have completed what was a merger of equals this morning, creating what will be a pure play and, of course, aerospace and defense. Don't forget, Carrier and Otis also now being spun off as separate companies. And joining us now is the CEO of Raytheon Technologies. Note the name change, so to speak. It's no longer United Technologies, but it's the same guy who used to run that company. Greg Hayes, nice to have you this morning. Thank you for being with us.
Morning, gentlemen. Good to be on.
It's good to see you, Greg. You know, the world has changed so much in the last month, let alone since you first announced this transaction with Raytheon. And I wonder, there are many companies that feel better having size and scope, bigger balance sheet. Are you regretful in any way, given the current situation, that in fact you are jettisoning parts of this company and becoming a pure play?
You know, David, it's an interesting question, but I would tell you, I can't think of a better time to be coming together with Raytheon and forming this really big company called Raytheon Technologies. It's been quite a journey to get it all done. Before maybe we get into that in more detail, I just want to shout out to all the folks who worked on this for the last year or so at both companies, as well as on the spins. And also thank all the folks that are still working on the production lines today. You know, the health and safety of our employees is first and foremost in our minds. And in these difficult times, it's great to see the work ethic and the camaraderie amongst the troops to get all of this work done on time, on schedule, and to bring these companies together today. It's a phenomenal effort. I would tell you the idea of bringing the companies together, when Dr. Kennedy called me a year ago, I was a little apprehensive because I thought we had a great hand with the commercial aerospace business and some defense. But as he and I had the conversation over the ensuing months, it became evident that bringing these businesses together was a technology play. And we could deliver innovative, game-changing technologies to our customers together that we could have never done on our own. So, look, it's a great combination. We've got 195,000 people, 60,000 engineers. Still working every day to deliver on those commitments.
And you feel as though Carrier and Otis are going to be in a good place for their respective shareholder bases as well, Greg, as they go out as pure plays into this vastly changed world?
Yeah, it's an interesting question, but I think it's one of the things that we worked very hard with the board to make sure that the capital structures for both Otis and Carrier could withstand a major recession. Which is, I think, of course, where we're headed. Both of them are investment grade credits. Both of them will have good balance sheets. They'll have debt loads that they can easily service. And, you know, Otis especially is very resilient in these kinds of markets. As you know, most of their revenue comes from servicing elevators, not so much from installing the elevators. And the servicing is going to continue. Even as the crisis in Wuhan developed, we had 60 or so service technicians there who continue to provide service, continue to service the elevators and make sure people could move about safely. So they're in a good shape. Carrier, we've seen this play before. They know how to cut costs. They know what to do. And again, I think, you know, both businesses have great global brands, good global strength, and they should be just fine.
Yeah. Well, Greg, one would assume you know what to do as well in this new environment. Looking at, I think, Cowen and Company, I think it's Kai Van Rumer's latest numbers, a 44% drop in your pre-COVID guidance is what he's pointing towards, given, of course, the significant decline in the aerospace market. When you announced this deal, you announced the possibility of significant shareholder returns of capital. I would assume in this environment that's no longer the case, is it?
Well, look, I think as we enter the merger today, we've got a very solid balance sheet. We've got about $7 billion of cash on hand. We've got $5 billion of backstop financing. But more importantly, we've got record backlog on the military side, about $70 billion of current backlog. And as we deliver that, we're going to generate strong cash flows. Even with the commercial aerospace business down, we still see positive cash flows for the year. We still see the ability to continue to pay dividends as we always have. And I think that's very important. As for the share buyback, all I would tell you is we'll see. It's obviously in this market, in this situation, it would be kind of foolish to go out and say, yeah, we're going to do a big share buyback program. But clearly, over time, the premise of putting these businesses together, the cash flow generation for both businesses is going to be phenomenal. And we will continue to buy back shares when it's appropriate.
Greg, Jim, always good to see you on the show.
Hey, Jim.
Now, let's say 2 months ago, I would have wanted to buy Carrier. It'd be terrific worldwide, got fantastic business. We always care about energy, climate control. I would have said, Otis, a disaster. It's levered to China. It's almost like it's flipped. As Otis must be online big right now because China's just stimulating and getting back to normal. It may be even exceeding normal in another couple of months. But I don't know. I'm worried about Carrier. There's no business being done in this country right now, Greg. Why would I want to own Carrier and when I can own Otis?
Well, I think you can own them both, actually. In fact, what's interesting, Jim, is we looked at the orders. Again, I don't want to get too far ahead of Dave and Judy when they talk about their earnings here in another month or so. But we saw a really solid rebound in China. February, everything shut down. The factory shut down. There was no business. March came back gangbusters in China for both businesses. Some of it was pent-up demand. Some of it was government stimulus. And I think that actually gives us hope that when we get past these next 30 days or so, we start to lift some restrictions.